Showtime, Bobby. We are here, the Sports Nuts Monday Night Football edition of Last Minute Betting. You all know the deal. In the description below, there are links for BetMGM and PointsBet sign-up bonuses to be had. Also, Underdog Fantasy and Thrive Fantasy deposit matches to be had. Don't forget, Bob, there is a link in the description below. Fill out that form, get a personal one-on-one tutorial on how you can make $2,500 plus per month sports betting. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Live chat is available. And it is time, Bobby. We are here. The World Series is over. And, all I got to say to that is, how about them Astros? How about them Astros? And I've got my OddsJam cup.
I just want to tell you something, Mike. Well, Bob here was 17-12 in the MLB playoffs this year, up 7 units total. I don't want to hear anybody ever doubt me. I'm up in everything that I've bet. And a lot of it is positive EV. Some of it is normal betting. That's just kind of the way it goes. Let's talk about since, we haven't been here since the weekend. Let's talk about the Astros. Dusty Baker with his first championship. Oldest manager or coach in any sport to win his first championship. And I think possibly any championship. That's pretty good.
Yeah, Dusty Baker is a guy that a lot of people respect, a lot in the baseball world. I mean, he's a guy who is a ball player. He's always been kind of a player's manager. He's always kind of had a history also of not really utilizing his bullpens and his pitching staffs to his best ability and costing him in the playoffs at times. But he gets the job done here with an Astros team that, in my opinion, was just top to bottom the best team in all of baseball. I thought that the majority of the season. And look, Justin Verlander was able to finally get over the hump and get a win in the World Series. And this team was just magnificent. They won on the road. They won at home. They were solid any way, shape, or form. And you got to give the rookie, the shortstop, a ton of credit, Bob. Pena was unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, the key to the whole series was the no-hit game. Following a 5-home run game, the no-hit game was the key that broke the Phillies back. It broke their momentum. It broke their hearts.
Yeah, that was just a great game. I mean, watching that game now, looking back, I should say, I'm watching that game. You had no idea that was going to be the case. You expected the Phillies to bounce back and continue, I should say, their offensive dominance, and then they get no hit, and they weren't able to recover from it in Game 6. And look, Bob, this team is. They're champs now, man. They were the real deal. I told you so.
All right. So I want to jump in here real quick and talk about it's Monday Night Football. This is the Monday Night Football edition. We got the Ravens and the Saints. The Ravens really need to win to hold off Cincinnati from being in a tie with them. Right now, the Ravens are 5-3. Conversely, the Saints are 3-5, but a win puts them in a 3-way tie for first place in the South. Both of these teams have first place on the line tonight, Mike.
That is true. I think that this is definitely a more interesting matchup than I may have given it credit for. This looks to me to be a spot, Bob. I mean, I got to be honest, I'm tempted because of how banged up Baltimore is offensively. I mean, I just feel like this is a spot to take New Orleans, don't you?
Well,
how about the magic that's going on in Louisiana? LSU knocks off Alabama, huh?
I can't say it yet. Yeah, but we'll get to that in just a second. Because we took the Ravens -1.5 on the this morning in the morning coffee show. Let me share my screen real quick. I went to the positive EV page, and what I did is I filtered out all the other sports except for football. And there are 4 plays here right now, Mike. And I want to know something. Do you think Isaiah Likely is more likely to go over receiving yards or to go over receptions? What do you think he's more likely to do?
Bob, that is, if I had the answer for that question, Bob, I would give it to you. Okay. I would say roll with whatever you think, bud.
I say Isaiah Likely over 4.5 receptions. I'm not going to go with the yards. I'm going to go over this is on the positive EV page right now. Like I said, I filtered out everything, all the other sports except for football. Andy Dalton under 1.5 player passing touchdowns. I'm going to tell you, this was over earlier in the day. So obviously all the money went on the over, and now it's the under. Dalton's been playing pretty good, Mike. I'm actually surprised at how well he played last week.
Yeah, no two ways about it. A play that I'm looking at, and I think it would be interesting to use the screen for this play. I mean, you got to look at Lamar Jackson and over rushing yards tonight.
Okay.
I mean, he's had, or maybe even looking at his rushing attempts, because Lamar's had 10 plus rushing attempts in 4 of the last 6 games. And as banged up as this team is offensively, you got to think that he's going to run the ball a lot tonight.
Okay. All right. Let me find it here.
And I also have him for an anytime touchdown scorer too.
Okay.
I've got him and Olave for anytime touchdown scorer.
All right. Here's player rushing yards right here as we see it on screen, folks. By the way, this is $79.99 a month to get all the player props and everything. So it looks like the average, it looks like the underdog of fantasy is 63.5, but you can get it at 59.5 at BetMGM, Caesars, DraftKings, and FanDuel. Mike, that is tempting to take the over 59.5. I really like that play.
Yeah, I think I do too. I mean, I think he's going to have definitely enough attempts, and I think it's the Lamar show tonight for Baltimore. Now, I don't think that may translate into a victory for them necessarily, but I do think that he's going to have I think he's got a shot at going over and getting in the end zone, Bob. I think that over 59.5, I think he goes over that, and I think he gets in the end zone here.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm trying to find it here in the game. I want to go ahead and add it to my bet tracker, because when we're off this show, I want to go ahead and bet it if it ever gets there. And
Yeah, go.
Not doing it yet.
No, go to it, Bob.
I already did. There
you go.
Nothing I did, but it's just slow. Okay. It's just slow. It's working slow. We'll get to that here in a second. All right. So yeah, I like that over 59.5. That's what happens when you do live TV, Mike. There we go. Now
we're not on TV, Bob.
Yeah, this is OddsJam TV. You didn't know that?
No.
You can get it for -110 at FanDuel, over 59.5. So I'm going to hit that and add it to the my bet tracker. And like I said, we've got Baltimore at -1.5. You're worried that they're all banged up, that they're not going to be able to cover that. Is that correct?
Bob, I just lean towards the Saints here a little bit. I really don't want to touch this game a whole lot because I mean, I'm not very high on New Orleans either necessarily, but we've seen Baltimore choke games away, and they just don't have the feel of a team that's going to take advantage of an opportunity that looks to be in front of them. And that's just the way I feel right now in this spot.
Okay. All right. I understand what you're saying. I just, I hate to bet against Lamar Jackson when Andy Dalton is his opponent, and the Ravens have they beat up on Andy Dalton, Mike. And by the way, Stephen Bassett said nice prop. Yeah.
It's at New Orleans. I mean, New Orleans is a home underdog in this spot. I mean, how confident are you with Baltimore covering this spread, winning this game? I mean, I don't know, Bob. Me, not very comfortable.
After watching the games yesterday and this whole NFL season, I'm not sure what a dog is and what a fave is. Because if you look, I'm just going to tell you this right now. 3 times in the last 2 weeks, and 2 of them were Buffalo. Buffalo was favored by double digits. Both times I went with the dog. Buffalo did not cover. Obviously, they lost yesterday. And then Kansas City last night. Oh, Andy Reid's coming off a bye. Look out. 12.5. Seriously, the Titans? It's Mike Vrabel. Say whatever you want about
Bob. Can I tell you what I think maybe the best bet to maybe look at halftime in this Ravens Saints game is? I mean, Baltimore is absolutely horrendous in the fourth quarter. I mean, their fourth quarter defense is the worst in the NFL. I think that second half Saints may be the best bet in this game. I mean, I could maybe see Baltimore winning the first half, and then come second half, Baltimore's going to choke the game away a little bit. Now they may win it, but I think Saints second half may be the best route to take here.
Also, another thing you got to do, folks, live bet this. Hope Baltimore scores early. And
that's what I'm saying here. That's what
runs it up, and then take the point spread. It may not be the second half. It may be in the second quarter. Who knows? I did it yesterday with the Jets, Mike. I got them plus 15.5, and I knew that they were going to cover plus 15.5. There was no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, New Orleans does have a good offense in the fourth quarter, so definitely worth taking a look at taking the Saints to win out in the second half, I think.
I also took Tennessee Saturday plus 19.5 at one point and caught it, and it covered. So, man, I'm on fire on these live bets right now. Don't forget that you can live bet and use OddsJam to help you look and go line shop, man. Go check it out right now. Mike, real quick. Tennessee and Georgia. Georgia just pretty well dominated that game. Their pass rush, they kept blitzing, and they were unbelievable. They're the number one team in the nation. Tennessee was not the number. They could say whatever they want. Tennessee wasn't number one. Georgia was always number one. Alabama is done. Does LSU, can they make a case?
No, absolutely they can.
Okay.
Absolutely they can.
Okay.
100%.
Right now, would you say that the 4 are Georgia, Clemson, Ohio State?
Clemson lost to Notre Dame. So
that's right. That's right. No, I'm sorry. Ohio State, Michigan. Did Tennessee drop out?
Boy, it's hard to say they'll drop too far, but you're winging it here and throwing me on. You're just
I'm just asking a question, bud. Pretty simple question. Do you think that Tennessee is out of it. Tennessee
No, they're
is
not
still
out
in
of
it.
it.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's hard to say, but
I mean, Alabama losing it. TCU. I mean, where are they at in all of this? Oregon, where are they at in all of this? LSU's got 2 losses. That's probably going to knock them out. Honestly, Mike, I think it's going to be 2 SEC teams and 2 Big 12 teams, or whatever they call themselves now.
Big
Ohio
Ten,
State,
Bob.
Michigan. Ohio State and Michigan are in, bud. For sure. For sure. All right. Do you have any bets for tonight?
I don't have a ton in this NFL game, but I'll go ahead and share my screen and see what we've got in the NBA. I've got some. We'll see where we're at time-wise here. Bancaro over 35.5 PRA. I got that at minus 105 on BetMGM. I took Horford on his under player made threes, under 1.5, plus 105 on points bet. Took the Knicks on the point spread plus 4. Got that at minus 107. So I'm beating the closing line value on all these plays. Got Paul on his under assists. You see the value I got on that, plus 122, minus 102 closing line. I took Barrett on his over 5.5 player rebounds. Really good there. Zubats under 11.5 rebounds, plus 105 on points bet. And I took Olynyk on his under 5.5 player rebounds, minus 105. Or I'm sorry, both of those were from yesterday. Wow. Those are winners from last night. So Barrett was the last one from tonight. But let's.
Did you freeze up, Mike?
I'm back.
I'm back. That was weird. Very quickly, can I do this real quick? I just want to show you this. And I have some bets too. Here's where the national championship odds are right now. Georgia plus 110, Ohio State plus 250, Michigan plus 850, Tennessee plus 1,800, and Oregon at plus 3,000. All right, let me show you what I bet here today. And obviously, we went with the Lamar Jackson over 59.5 player rushing yards, because Mike said to do that. I'm with him on that. Isaiah Likely is likely to get over 4.5 player receptions. Zion Williamson under 36.5 PRA. And I like that play too. A lot. What do you think of that?
I like it.
Zion is a weird player. You know that? It's hard to tell what. I mean, he could be a monster, can he?
Well, no two ways about it. Health has been the biggest issue with him, but he's not been 100% consistent. So we've got a long ways to go before we start, talking about where he's at. We got a long season ahead.
Well, I know that, but a lot of what happens early in the season, that by watching the NHL too, can have an impact on what happens later. You got to win these early games too. Look at I think the Lakers are a perfect example. People think they're going to turn it around. I really don't. I think they're a bad team.
Well, anybody that thinks they're going to turn it around, I don't know who you're hearing or talking to, but geez.
It's because it's LeBron. It's because it's LeBron, man.
So
people think LeBron's the king.
Well, that's fine, but
But speaking of which, are you excited about him going to be breaking Kareem's record?
No, not necessarily. No.
Do you think it elevates him in people's eyes as the greatest? No opinion.
No, not really. No.
Okay. All right. Well, it was always Jordan and Kobe, and LeBron came along, and he's trying to make a case for being the greatest player ever. He does, if he breaks Kareem's record, which he's going to probably sometime in March. That's a big deal, in my opinion. So, all right. NFL tonight, Mike's going with the Saints. I'm taking the Ravens -1.5. I guess you're going to take that +1.5, Mike.
I'll take the +1.5. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it. That's it for tonight. Last minute betting. You guys have a good night. I need the Blues to get off the snide tonight, so I took them +1.5. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Let's win. Let's win some money tonight, guys. See you later.